Hey everyone, welcome to our Healy Overview webinar. My name
Good
is David
evening.
Pritchard and we have Ray Jatan here as well. And we are excited to be able to share with you about the amazing little Healy device. Some of you this may be your first exposure to what this is, and it's just going to blow your mind. And if you've already learned a little bit about it, hopefully we can help answer some questions tonight and that you'll be ready to get started and get your own Healy. So really quick, I want to first explain what frequency medicine or using frequencies for your health or energy medicine, what does that all mean? Because when I first heard about this 2.5 years ago, it was May of 2020, a holistic doctor friend of mine called me. Her name is Dr. Corrine Allen. And she was telling me all about this device, but I didn't really understand what frequencies and energy was. I'd heard of something called a Rife machine. Perhaps some of you have heard of a Rife machine. And that was from way back, I don't know, 70, 80 years ago. A man had come up with a device that would use frequencies. And it was similar to what we're doing with microcurrent, but much, much more, the Healy is much more advanced. But the idea of frequencies is that everything is energy and frequency and vibration. Nikola Tesla said that 100 years ago. A famous quantum physicist said, if you want to understand the secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And then Albert Einstein, also a famous quantum physicist, he said, the future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. So they understood this concept that all the way down to the subatomic level, everything is just energy and frequency and vibration. And that's what everything's made of. So the concept here is that every different type of cell in the body, every type of tissue, even thoughts and emotions and brain waves, they are all a frequency. It's energy and frequency. So for instance, a hair cell and a skin cell and a liver cell, they may all have a different energy signature or a different frequency that it vibrates at. So if you can add frequency or add energy at very specific frequencies, you get a result physically or even mentally and emotionally, because it's all frequency, if that makes sense at all. So the idea is, one quick way to kind of demonstrate is that with audio frequencies, if you have a violin, you start bowing the G string. And if you have another violin just sitting in the room all by itself, sitting on a chair, start bowing that G string on the first violin, the G string on the other violin starts to vibrate and make noise, make sound. And that's because they share a resonant frequency. And that frequency of the sound waves is striking that string and causing energy to expand. Same thing in our bodies. We put energy in at very specific frequencies and it causes a result within us. So that's the concept of frequency medicine. So it's been around a while, but it was kind of squashed by the American Medical Association and other people because they wanted to sell pharmaceutical drugs instead of help us holistically with our health. So I should point out, though, too, that we obviously cannot state that the Healy cures or mitigates any disease because we can get a lot of trouble for that. Now, it does really help your body to heal itself. Our bodies are designed to heal. And if we give it what we need, whether that's nutrition, water, the things that we need, but we're finding out that energy and frequency is very important. And that can help your body generate the power and the ATP in the cells and protein synthesis and amino acid transport. All those things have been proven to be improved by frequency. The Healy itself is actually FDA cleared for pain, for like arthritis pain and pain due to muscle soreness and some different things there. Over in Europe, they even have medical clearance that say things like fibromyalgia. They say anxiety and depression. So there is aspects of traditional medicine where they do recognize that frequency and energy, it does have an effect on us, whether it's depression, anxiety, fibromyalgia, pain, some of those things. Now, the Healy does many, many more things than that, and we believe that it can help in many areas and help the body deal with many areas. And you're going to see how we do that tonight. So, Ray, why don't you? One thing I wanted to point out to everyone is that this is both an opportunity to own a device that I think everyone's going to want to own someday. This is going to just sweep the world, already has started. But there's also an opportunity here. So like Ray and I, we both bought this device initially because someone introduced it to us and we were just blown away by what it could do. But then we decided, you know what? We want to promote this. This is changing the world. And Healy has a goal of that there be 100 million families in the world that own a Healy someday in the next 10 years or so. So we saw an opportunity there. We're both kind of entrepreneurial and always looking for another income stream, you know. So if you're that type of person, whether you're some kind of a therapist or you're just like me, I was a piano technician and Ray was a HVAC contractor. So, you know, we're very entrepreneurial. So the point with that, I just want people to understand that this Healy is really catching on quickly. So Ray, could you kind of share the background of how this has grown and maybe, you know, a little bit about Time Waver, the parent company, and then we'll get into a demonstration of how this works.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Healy's mother company is called Time Waver, and they've been around since 2007. They actually make the $20,000 to $40,000 biofeedback devices that sit on the doctor's or practitioner's desk. And they plug into their computer, and they have probes that you hold on to, and they can send frequency into your body and ping those cells and those organs and get really specific on things that are going on. And I had my first experience with a device like that about 6 years ago, where I sat down with a lady that had one of those devices, paid her a setting fee, and without me telling her anything about me, she could see that I was type 1 diabetic, which I have been for 36 years, that I had a low thyroid, that I had E. coli and bacteria in my system, and that I dealt with depression and anxiety. And all of that was true. And I was fascinated. And I looked into seeing what I could do to own one of those devices. And when I inspected how to do that, it was $20,000 to $40,000, depending on how I had it equipped. And then another 15,000 to go to Germany and get trained on how to read that information. Fast forward 3 years, I find out about this little device because my son was having some pain issues. Now, before I tell that part of the story, with Time Waver, having those larger devices, in 2017, some of the practitioners went to the owner of the company, whose name is Marcus Schmika. He's a quantum physicist and a former monk. And he partnered up with another investor, a billionaire named Christian Halper. But those practitioners went to Marcus and said, we need something to use as an extension to our care, because our clients really need to be in the office receiving these frequencies more often, more frequently, so that their body could remember where it needed to be. And so they invested the money into the device, launched it to the practitioners in 2017. And by 2019, they'd realized they hadn't recouped that investment yet. So they were looking for another way to recoup that investment. And they decided to introduce this into the social selling arena. Some of you know it as affiliate marketing in one aspect, or network marketing in another aspect. Doesn't matter what you call it, but we found this amazing to be able to share among our family and the people that we love because of what it was doing. And the first year that they entered into the market in the other world markets, the other countries, they did $7 million. The second year was 2020, and they came into the US market halfway through the year in May of 2020. And by the end of 2020, they had done over $100 million. Now, the entrepreneur in me said, hey, there's an opportunity here for me to share this with others and not only make a difference in their life, which I'm all about, but to also earn some extra income. Well, the extra income turned into an opportunity for me to retire from that career that I've been in for so many years and just do Healy full time. So that's been amazing for us. But the way we found out about it was my son was having some major growth issues. He grew 6 inches in 8 months. Yeah, it was so quickly that he has stretch marks on his back. And he was trying to play soccer for high school, and it was hard for us to watch him try to walk, let alone run. And he felt like he was walking on Legos. And we spent a bunch of money trying to get him fixed and nothing was working. So we stopped to pick up our friends on the way to vacation. They had just purchased one of these devices and they said, "Hey, this thing is from Germany. It's cleared for pain. Let's hook him up and see what it can do." And I was all about that. They ran a scan for him in the pain and stimulation category and run a 20-minute vibration on him. And 2 hours later, he's walking normal. So my wife says, "Oh my goodness, I got to have one of those." So we had one ordered before we ever got back to Missouri. And, the rest is history. The single biggest thing it's done for me personally is it's helped me be able to reduce the amount of insulin I take by almost 40% just in the first year of using this. I don't know how to explain that, and I'm not making any medical claims because it's going to be different for everybody, but single biggest thing I've ever done in 36 years of having that awful disease. If you know somebody with that, you know what it's like. Um, we saw it fixing hormones with or I shouldn't say fixing necessarily, but making things better with hormones with my two daughters and my wife, and it just kept performing. And man, it's been a great time. We love helping people with this thing.
Yeah. I'll tell this really quick. I'm about to do a demonstration so you can see how it works. But for me, what I noticed right away, you'll see how we can do scans and it'll tell you which programs you need. And it was just wild when I first got my Healy to see how it would identify issues that I was having. Because the first programs that came up for me were called nerves and another one called the sciatica local. So, and I was having issues with some numbness in my right hand that stemmed from a pinched nerve in my shoulder blade, and the chiropractor got all that fixed, but I had this ongoing numbness. Well, it's really cool running that nerves program over time. My numbness went away and I got the normal feeling back in my hand. But also I had been having for 10 years, a couple times a week, I'd have a flare up of my sciatica nerve and the pain would shoot down my left side of my leg. And I do all these weird stretches to try to relieve that. Well, the Healy could identify that too. I would get often my scan results would say you need to run that sciatica one, even sometimes when I wasn't having an actual flare up. But the Healy, the quantum sensor in the Healy, through scanning my bioenergetic field and seeing all the frequencies that were out of balance or out of whack there, it could sense that imbalance in my body, in my bioenergetic field, that there was an issue at the sciatica area. So I would run those programs and it's been great. And now in a little over 2.5 years, I've only had one or two very minor flare-ups with the sciatica when I was doing a lot of bending and twisting and lifting, but otherwise, it used to be pretty major flare-ups twice a week. So really, really cool results. My wife and I have also just seen things more on the emotional side. We actually live now full-time in an RV, so we're in a small space together all the time, and we get along great. Okay, so we really feel that the Healy has helped even just with some of the emotions, just balancing things out and smoothing things out as far as not having these really highs and lows and with our emotions. So let's do a quick demonstration of how the Healy works. Okay, first of all, this is the device. Inside there is a quantum sensor there's like two random noise generators. I'm not going to get into all the science, but basically it's able to ping your bioenergetic field, which is that EMF field or electromagnetic field around your body that's generated from your body. And it can read and sense which frequencies are needing balancing. And that affects you internally too. Okay, so that's what's in here. But it also can send frequencies, and it does it three ways. One is microcurrent, where you have these wires plugged in. In this case, I have the other ends of the wires going to these electrodes on my wrists. So when it sends a mild electrical current from the rechargeable battery in here, it's sending the current through between my two wrists. So it's passing through my body. It's hitting all those meridian pathways in the body, and it's flowing through the cells and the water in your body, right? Because water conducts electricity, and we're 70% water, something like that. Another way you can do that, instead of the wrist electrodes, you can use adhesive type electrodes. So for instance, when I was doing that sciatica pain one, I would put one of these adhesive electrodes on either side of that sciatica nerve area and run the frequencies right in that area. Okay, so another way we can do frequencies that's really cool, we can take these wires out And they invented this a little later after I had already bought my Healy, but this is called the Healy coil. And you can see the coil of wire in there. It says actually has 2 Tesla coils in there. You may have heard of a Tesla coil. It's a way of transmitting energy across space through these coils that Nikola Tesla invented a long time ago. Well, we got 2 of them in here, one right there, you can see another one on the back. And it creates something called a 0-point field. And the type of energy that's created is called scalar waves. So this is all the quantum physics. So you don't need to know all that, but just so you understand that it's a different type of application. This will plug in, these little prongs plug in right where the wires would go. And now I have a wireless Healy. I can just clip this on my shirt or put it in my pocket and run programs, and it's doing it without the wires. Now, doesn't mean you should never run the wires. The wires is sending frequency through the cells and water in your body. This is sending frequencies more about balancing the energetic field, which also has an effect internally. It's just different. So some people have a better result this way, some people this way, and I like to do both. So I'm doing both every day. For the demonstration, I want to use the wires and the electrodes because I want to show you how it creates a current through my body. And I'm going to just clip this on here and turn it on. There'll be a blinking green light. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to my phone. I'm going to share my phone screen so you can see how I control the Healy. So here in just a second, you should see it. There you go. There's my phone. And in here, there are several Healy apps. These are the 3 that we use the most. I'll just tell you that in here there's something called a digital nutrition module where you can have all these programs that are like for supplements, like having a hair supplement or a brain supplement, and all the frequency information. You're doing that digitally, sending that energy into your body through that module, but it'll also even create grocery lists and stuff. So there's lots of cool things you can do in there. There's also a search app where you could type in diabetes and it'll tell you which programs would be best to support your body in dealing with diabetes or any disease or issue or symptom or anything you want to put in there. This app will do scanning and allow you to scan your field to see what you need. And this app is how you apply either the microcurrent or with the coil. So I'm going to just quickly go in here and show you in this app how I would do a scan. Because what I like to do is do a scan to figure out what program is needed most by me, and then go over to the other app and run that program. I'm going to point out that there's a lot more to this Healy than we can possibly cover in this short webinar, because we want to keep this short and think of your time here. But you'll see there's resonance analysis, which is I'm going to show you now, but there's also coaching analysis and aura analysis. These do other things. If you're into energy and frequency, you might understand the idea of aura and chakras. That's what this is doing. Coaching is more like a life coach and doing identifying areas in whether it's personal finance or personal relationships, business, mindset, things like self-worth. You can actually do frequency work in those areas. Resonance, this is more on the physical side, physical, mental, or emotional health. So I'm going to go in here and just choose myself as the client, and it'll scan for the Healy. So I need to make sure it's turned on. It is. And it's going to find the Healy, and it'll display the serial number here in just a second. And that'll connect the app. Okay, it's actually finding my wife's Healy as well, which she probably has plugged in to charge right now, but I'm going to select my Healy, the one on top. And it will connect by Bluetooth to the Healy, so I can control the Healy from my smartphone, and it can be an Android or iOS, Apple smartphone, or even a tablet. So I'm going to go, notice it says the focus is with what do I have the greatest resonance. So when we scan in these different databases, the Healy is scanning the field to see which frequencies are most out of whack and which programs would be best in balancing that. So what I like to do, you can see there's tons of different things. If you understand some holistic health, you might know things like Bach flower remedies and homeopathics, and there's tons of them. But these ones down here that start with Healy are all the ones that we can run microcurrent with the wires or the coil. So what I like to do each day is hit this all Healy. This will help me see all the ones that I could run with microcurrent, which ones are most important for me. So I touch the screen where it shows that fingerprint. It's not actually scanning my fingerprint. It's just a point of focus to say I'm ready to do the scan. And notice it's coming up that my most important program group now is the skin programs. And then there's job programs, then those digital nutrition programs I talked about a minute ago. bioenergetic vitalization, and learning programs. And there's what, I don't know, 20, 30, I think 25 different program groups that are possible. So all of these are important. If they're above 50%, I usually consider them important. But let's just do 2 quick scans. We'll do skin and digital nutrition. So if I go back here, I go resonance, David, database, Healy skin programs. You'll see there's only 5 programs in this group. And when you do these scans, it always brings up the top 5 programs. So it's going to bring up all of them, but it's putting it in order. So Skin Harmony Systemic. Systemic means it's going to use the electrodes with the wrist or the coil. Local means you want to use the adhesive ones. So it's identifying that I just overall need to do something for my skin harmony. Maybe I have some extra toxicity in my skin right now, you know, and just wanting to deal with that. But I could run that program in the other app. Or there is a way to do the third type of frequencies here where we go actions, vibrate, and I can send some of this frequency into my bioenergetic field as a vibrational frequency, a third form. I'm not going to even show you that because we want to just quickly touch on all that you can do. So Skin Harmony Systemic is important for me, but I'll usually go through a couple of these. Let's just do the digital nutrition because I really like these ones. They're some of my favorites. Because look at here, there's 72 different programs. So when I do this scan, it may take a little longer because it's comparing my bioenergetic field to all 72 of these different programs groups, or all these different programs, 72 of them. And it's going to bring up the top 5 that are most important. For me, look at that, skin harmony. See a pattern here? The Healy is seeing skin in the skin programs, but also of all 72 digital nutrition programs that brought up skin harmony. Something there is obviously needed by me. So I would make it a point this day, if I was doing these scans in the morning like I normally do, I would run both of those programs. I'd also run this head harmony one and nerve harmony, you know, one called breath and one called birth. I don't even know exactly what that means, but there are manuals where you can look up what these all refer to. But let's just show you how I would run this program called Skin Harmony. I'm going to go to the other app that we have, this Healy app right here. It's also going to go and search for the Healy. I got to make sure it's turned on. So when I swipe that other app closed, the Healy also turns off its power to save battery. So I turn it back on, swipe this app open, and I have my Healy and also something called a Mag Healy we haven't talked about. It's a whole different product, but the Healy is our flagship. So I'm going to click connect to that one. Takes a few seconds just to connect by Bluetooth, just like we were showing before. And I'm get to show you how we do a microcurrent program, because this is really the key to Healy. This is where we just hear these amazing results of people with pain or you know, I'm not going to get into disease names and things because, you know, we can get in trouble for that type of thing, but just know that there are tons of great testimonials, and we can even refer you. In fact, I'll just tell you, if you are on Facebook, look up a Facebook group, just do a search called The Frequency Experience. And that is just full of compliant testimonials, because if you tell your own testimonial, that's allowed, where you can see all these testimonials about Healy, and you can even type in the search. If you're curious, does it help with diabetes? You can type in diabetes and you'll see any posts that were about diabetes, for instance. So notice it went to just running the most recent program that I had done, but I'm going to go here to the main menu and show you that there's all these program groups. We heard the learning came up as the 5th most important for me. I think job was one of mine. And then of course the digital nutrition down here was the one that we're going to work on right now. But there's a lot of them: beauty and skin and fitness and learning and pain. I mean, look at this. A lot of people love the fitness ones, of course, because there's things like weight and muscle harmony, circulation, performance, strength, stamina, regeneration, deep relaxation. So those are amazing programs to run. Let's go do that digital nutrition one. There's so many digital nutrition, there's 6 pages. And what came up for me? Skin harmony. So we're gonna have to find, oh good, it happens to be the 3rd one on the first page, so we found it quickly. I'm just going to click that, and notice it says this is going to be an 87-minute program. That's a pretty long one. I found that most programs are between 40 and 60 minutes, but I've seen some that are 20 minutes and some that are, you know, 100 minutes. So, but most of them are 40 to 60. So this is kind of a long one. It shows doing the electrodes on both hands. They kind of show a picture of the adhesive, but you can also use these bracelet electrodes that come with the Healy. And I'm going to hit start. It's sending all the frequency information over to the Healy by Bluetooth now. So it's loading up the memory of here with all these frequencies. It's probably hundreds of different frequencies that these time waver therapists have found to be helpful with the skin. So 41.1 hertz is one of those. And after 10 seconds, that's going to switch to another one, 915 hertz. So every 10 seconds it changes. And so this little wave down here is showing that right now I have good conductivity and that there is frequency flowing between my wrists. Typically I would bump up this. It actually didn't have the wave on that first frequency. The lower frequencies sometimes need some more intensity. So I'm going to turn that up. And in my case, I can start right around here, right about 45%. I can start to feel a sense of energy in my hands, like just a little light sense of tingling. I can feel that energy. And you'll see every 10 seconds that switching. So the Healy right now is identifying which frequencies are important for me, because if Ray and I and you all ran the skin harmony program at the same time, it would actually select different frequencies. And this is something really important to understand, because some people say, well, I'm planning to buy a Rife machine, which costs a lot more than a Healy. And all it does is you select a frequency and hit start, or it might have a few frequencies, you hit start, but it just sends those frequencies because it's part of the program, whether you need them or not. Healy instead has larger sets of frequencies that can all handle all aspects of skin harmony in this case, and it selects the ones you need. It's called individualized microcurrent frequencies. When people hear this that are energy workers and therapists and even chiropractors, and a lot of these people that understand energy, when they hear that it can do these individualized programs and scan your field, they instantly think this is going to cost $10,000, $20,000, even this little device. But I promise you it's not anywhere near that. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. So this is really, really cool. I don't know if you can grasp how cool this is, that it's finding the frequencies I need. Look at that. Went to a low one and it kind of for a second said it wasn't getting good conductivity. One thing you can do, just a little tip, that could be dehydration or dry skin. You can add a little water between your wrist and the electrodes, and that can sometimes help that as well. But look at what happens if I unplug this. It instantly goes to a frequency is generated, but no measurable current is flowing because I have interrupted the circuit. So this is proving that my body is part of the circuit. The frequencies are traveling between my two wrists and through all the water and cells in my body right now. And it's just an incredibly awesome thing. All right, so that's really how that works. I'm just going to let this go, of course, because this was a very important program for me. And while we are going through the rest of our information, we will, I'll just let that program go for myself. So I'm going to stop sharing on the computer here, or on the screen. I do want to point out, this is another device that Healy has created, actually just within the last 4, 5, 6 months, and it's called a Mag Healy. Ray, do you just kind of want to tell a little bit about what is so special about this device?
Yeah, absolutely. I have mine running right now on Prosperity, as I found the Prosperity program really does a great job of helping my mind just strategize and so forth about business and keep my thought process clear. And that's in the Atmosphere program. So there's 4 different categories. There's some classical Rife type programs that address numerous things that go on in our body. There's Atmosphere programs that you can set this device in the middle of the room and broadcast to everybody.
And,
There's
and just so people understand, it's doing this through a magnetic field. That's why it's called a Mag Healy.
exactly,
This is
yeah,
electrical, but that's magnetic, and that's how it can broadcast it through the room in a magnetic field.
right. So that's the 4th way that Healy can deliver frequencies to us. It also has water programs where you can bump this up against your container of water, and or put it over top of it, and you can charge your water with energy or with coherence or with good health, fitness, those type of programs. And then the real reason why they put the Mag Healy together is because of a partnership that they have with Dr. Carolyn McMakin, who has been the expert in frequency specific microcurrent and is sought after by the NFL because of what she's accomplished with professional athletes and addressing their wounds from their fitness injuries. playing the sports. And she's amazing. I've had dinner with her, and just a sweet lady, but she's the one that's invested over 25 years of her career in certain programs that are 2-channel microcurrent programs, and they figured out that they could do the same thing that they could do with wires with magnetic vibrations. And that's just been amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I can tell you guys that just 2 nights ago, my wife, I don't know if she had some kind of food poisoning or something, just really bad indigestion. She was up at 1:30 in the morning, just not feeling well at all. And I instantly grabbed the Mag Healy, went into those McMakin ones. There's one for gastrointestinal, and it actually has you set it on your belly. So she just went to sleep with the Mag Healy. I honestly also got my Healy out with the coil and just kind of tucked it up underneath her and ran one in the bioenergetic harmony group called gastrointestinal as well. So she had both things going, and honestly, she went right to bed and slept through the rest of the night, woke up in the morning not feeling any issues. So we really believe not only in the Healy but the Mag Healy. She was like, oh, that Mag Healy, that was amazing. But it's actually kind of nice too, because you put it on and it kind of warms up, and it feels kind of cool. So so that's awesome. Thank you, Ray. Let's go right into an overview of how you get a Healy, what they cost, even a little bit on the aspect of our business that we can do if it's optional if you want. So here's the Healy. You got the Healy, you use it with your phone, but we also have the Mag Healy. There are 5 editions of the Healy device, this device here. Editions just mean versions. It just means you have fewer or more programs and app modules. Remember, well, I'll show you that on the next page here, but hardware is the same for every edition. But you can actually start at a lower edition if you need to financially, and you can later upgrade to a higher one. And you don't have to get a whole new device. You're just opening up more of the software that you have available to in the different apps. So you get everything you need to use your Healy, of course, but you also get a 14-day money-back guarantee, and it's from the day it arrives in the mail. So you have a full 14 days to try it and play with it. And if you change your mind and say, you know what, it's not doing anything for me, it's not for me, you can get all your money back. And that's awesome. Now, it's pretty rare that someone requests their money back because the Healy really works. So it's pretty cool. All right, so these are the different program groups and app modules that we were talking about. We didn't go into all these details, but we talked a little bit about a aura module and resonance and success coach, digital nutrition, bioenergetic visualizations, another program group that has 12 programs in it, but it also has a app module where you can set up some other things to remind you of things and so on. But these program groups, there's as many as 306 different microcurrent programs that you could run with the coil or the wires, and then a whole bunch of other databases you can do in that resonance module. So if you have a lower priced edition, it's only going to have a few of these. And if you have a higher priced edition, it's going to have more of these. If you buy an edition and it doesn't have something you really wanted, like let's say it doesn't have these beauty programs, and you're like, oh, I really want access to those, but your edition doesn't have it, you can still get that by doing a monthly subscription for those, but that's optional. Most people buy the edition they want that has the programs they want, and there is no monthly fees, yearly fees. That's only if you're adding on to your edition. Hope that makes sense. So here's the lowest price edition called Healy Gold, and it is about $506. It's kind of our entry level, but it is awfully amazing. This gold cycle set of programs, Pure, Care, Balance, Being, Energy, Relax, and Release, these were developed by one of these time waver practitioners out of Portugal. His name is Nuno Nina, and he is a pretty amazing guy. We've heard him speak many times, and he developed these programs. And honestly, you can do so much just with these 7 programs. This Pure one is something you kind of fall back on quite a bit because it's about detoxing the body. And Energy, of course, is energy. And Release is about pain in the body, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, doesn't matter. There's so much you could do with this. And then Bioenergetic Support has 2 very popular programs. This was released during COVID as a kind of immune system booster. Coherence is just overhaul coherence in the body, kind of between the energy of your head or your brain and your heart area. And then these are some of the pain programs that are FDA cleared. There's also that Healy Advisor search module where you can type in an issue. It'll tell you which programs you could run. Now, if you go to the most expensive edition of the Healy, instead of being $10,000, $20,000, like a lot of these therapists and professionals we talk to think it's going to be, the highest one is $4,041. And right now we even have some promotional prices where this is significantly less than this amount. So, but this would be the most someone could pay for an edition. But notice it has 216 microcurrent programs instead of 11 like the gold had, and 6 app modules instead of just 1. So you get a lot of stuff for the professional. In between, there's holistic, and then resonance plus, and then up to professional. As you go up the ladder, you're just adding more programs. This is the level at resonance where you start to have the resonance module where you can do that scan like I did that showed me I needed the skin harmony program in the skin group and also in digital nutrition and so on. So I really recommend people trying to start at least at this edition, but honestly, most people jump all the way up to professional, especially when they're on sale like they are now, because why not get as much as you can, right? You're gonna play with all of these, and you're gonna enjoy all of them. And it's not just for you. You can, by the way, you can use your Healy for everyone in the family. You can only do one person at a time, but you and your kids and your spouse, you can all download the apps and you can all control the Healy. And you can even do work with other people that aren't even in your family. So a lot of value to what you can do here. Now let's look at with this discount they're doing right now for the month of January. It's 40% off the top 3 editions. So the Resonance, Resonance Plus, and Professional. That's until the end of January. So now you can see the 40% off price. The Resonance is only $909. It's actually cheaper than the holistic. So don't buy a holistic. Whatever you do, it's cheaper to buy the next one up where you're going to add a whole bunch more programs and that really important resonance module. If you go to Resonance Plus, it'll be about $1,000 off of what it normally is. And the professional is about $1,600 cheaper than the normal manufacturer suggested retail price or whatever. Okay, so let's move on here. The Healy coil is a separate purchase. That's this amazing little Tesla coil device that allows you to do frequency programs without the wires when you want. And it's about $225. However, right now there is a promotion, another promotion, in addition to the 40% off for those top 3 editions. If you buy one of the top 2 editions, either Resonance Plus or the Professional, you get 3 free gifts that total up to about $548. One is a brand new program set that just was released on December 1st called Soul Cycle. It's 12 new programs developed by a therapist in Germany that are more about, well, kind of about the soul, right? It's things like program group names like burden and acceptance, and there's some kind of energy things in there as well, but it's really pretty cool. But normally that would cost over $300 to add that program set to your edition because it doesn't come in any edition. This is an add-on. The Healy coil is normally $225 or so, and that comes free with this gift, and a travel case, which is really good. You can see how the Healy actually fits in there, your wires, and you zip it up. It's hard shell. It's really nice. All right, so next let's look at the idea of becoming a Healy World member. Now this intrigued me right from day one. I was excited about the Healy as a device, but I also like, well, this is probably an opportunity. When I first heard about it, it was brand new in the US, which was a lot of headaches. Honestly, I'd rather have been jumping on board about now than 2.5 years ago. I mean, there's some advantage that Ray and I have slogged through all this growing pains of this company that grew way too quick for its little britches, right? But now we're in this point where this is going to have huge momentum. This company's taken off. So if you're interested, it doesn't cost anything to be a member. It's rather than a customer, and you can earn commissions for referring others to Healy. You can earn even additional commissions beyond the normal commissions during a fast start promotion, and you can even earn a second free device in addition to the one you purchased. And I believe this is going to be the next great network marketing or affiliate marketing or direct sales company. You know, there's so many names for it. But this is the wave of the future where people refer people to a company, just like people do all day long on Amazon and so on. You can build a team of Healy World members all over the world. We're in almost 60 countries now, and there's 11 different ways to earn. let's just show you quickly that, here's the prices of the Healy, and the Mag Healy we talked about is a newer device. It is almost $3,000, worth every penny, but it is not discounted, never been discounted. We've been told it never will be discounted. So just realize that some people just want to start with the Healy. Some people, if they're looking at this as a business and if they have the cash, they'll start with both. We do have some people that'll buy a professional and a Mag Healy because they want to use all the products and be able to demonstrate them, right? This, even if you did that, what is that? That's like $5,500. That's a very low business startup expense, isn't it, Ray?
Absolutely.
$500. Yeah. What did it cost you to be a HVAC contractor? You had to buy a truck, you had to buy equipment, tools.
It depresses me to even think about that. It
I
was
was
a lot.
And I was a piano technician. I had to have a computer and different software and all these tools for tuning and repairing and regulating pianos. And I went to the Steinway factory 4 different times for training. I mean, it was expensive to have a business. Well, this business is cheap, right? I mean, you could start for as little as $500. Or you may want to go all the way up and spend about $5,500 and get kind of our professional package and get everything. And remember, that'll come with right now with the professional, you get that coil and the soul cycle and the travel case. So you're really off to a great start. Just quickly, I'm not going to go into detail, but this is just showing that you earn commissions. Here's the price of the Healy currently in January. You earn points for each edition. As you earn those points for making those referrals, you are earning a free device during your fast start, and you earn commissions. And depending on your production for the month, you can earn anywhere from like on a professional 288, or it can be up to double that, depending on what you do. But during this fast start, you earn an additional $120 in commission right off the bat. Then there's other bonuses called mentoring and coaching, dual bonus, rank advancement, leader pools, check matching. There's so many ways you can earn income that as you build an organization with us, that income can become pretty significant. For me, it's almost 3 times what I was making as a piano technician at a university. I quit that job about 5 months before I found Healy. I was searching for a way to create income online so that I could do what my wife and I are doing now, where we sold our house and we live in an RV and we travel around, go to national parks and chase our grandkids around wherever they are at the time. So we wanted to develop that lifestyle, and that's what Healy's allowed for us. It's easily a 6-figure income for me, and just about 3 times what I was earning with my salary at a job. So if you're looking for something you can do part-time or full-time, it doesn't matter, but it could develop into a full-time, and you could fire your boss and and do this permanently if you want. Just to quickly show you that they do other little promotions right now. There's every 2 people that you refer that purchase either a resonance or higher, you get an additional $180 right now. That's for this whole quarter. You can earn additional Resonance Plus editions for every 3 referrals within a calendar month, either in January, February, or March. And you can do that multiple times. So there's lots of ways to earn a lot of different types of cash, but also a lot of free devices. And they even have large bonuses for reaching certain career titles during this quarter. So, if you have questions on that side, compensation plan stuff, just reach out and ask. Lastly, we want to promote something we call the Frequency Workshop. This is our downline organization, Ray and I. We are one of the fastest growing teams in Healy, and it's because we are really trying to help on the whole support side of creating systems and trainings that can help people not only learn how to use their Healy, but how to build a business. We know that this Healy company, which is probably a couple $100 million a year company right now, they're going to become a multi-billion-dollar company soon. So why not take advantage of that and earn your piece of that? So we are teaching people how to become leaders in this company and work. In fact, Ray and I are 2 of only 10 people in the United States that were selected to be on a Healy advisory board. And Ray's daughter is actually one of those 10 people as well. So, and we are all part of this frequency workshop and helping to lead that. So what do you get by being in the frequency frequency workshop. It's a private Facebook group where you can ask questions and get lots of information, private email list and a Telegram feed. We're building a members only website. We have other special tools such as we use something called the Boards app, which has tons of information that you get at the fingertips that you can grab and look at for yourself or send to someone to learn about Healy. Lots of recorded trainings. We do these Zoom meetings on Tuesdays. We do a business type related Zoom meeting on Mondays. We even do some live events sometimes around the country. One-on-one support. We're really helping people, but guess what? It's free. All you have to do to be part of the frequency workshop is purchase your Healy from someone that's in the frequency workshop, and then you're in there. So and we really do want to work with you. We're looking for leaders, right, Ray? We'd like some people to come alongside with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we hope you will want to join us. Definitely get back to the person that told you about Healy. One thing I did not point out is that if you're like, oh, I really would wish I could get that professional one, but it's kind of, I can't really afford that. We do have financing options available right in the checkout screen. So you do need to talk to the person that referred you to Healy and use their referral link. It won't let you buy a Healy without a referral of a person that's already a member of Healy. So get their link, click on it, make the purchase. If you need them to help you with, kind of how to place the purchase, make sure you get those discounts and those special deals that they're offering right now. Just do that and get started. Remember, there's nothing bad to get started, right? Because you got 14 days to play with it. What did you do during your 14 days?
Yeah, when they said there was a 14-day money back guarantee, I was thinking, I've seen this work. I know it works, but I'm going to work this thing as hard as I can to see if I can get it to stop working. And it just kept performing.
Yeah,
Still.
it did. So I hope you guys are seeing value in this. This is recorded, by the way. So if you loved this information and you I want to play this for my spouse or a friend or something, just reach out to, again, the person that told you about this. They will have the link for this within the next couple hours probably, and it will be on YouTube, and you can share this with other people. So thank you so much for coming, and hopefully we'll see you here in the frequency workshop with us very soon. Bye-bye.
Good night all.